guys, how's it going? Luke Vogal here. We're going to be talking about how to get a good vocal sound today. And we've also recently implemented a lot of plugins that are new to you at the campus level. So we're going to be going over those plugins as well. First off, just to give you an overview on where we're starting, this vocal channel has been zeroed out. Other than the gain, it's pretty much right at zero. There's no EQ on it, no compression, no gating, no de-essing. It is, for all intents and purposes, completely flat. We've got the gain set up so that it's hitting right around 0 dB on the meter, on the screen, as you can see right here. And that's just giving us a good, healthy gain level to then work from. So let's talk about the plugins that we're going to be using on the vocal today. We've got 3 plugins that we're going to be using. The first one in order is the Waves C6 plugin, and it is a multi-band compressor that controls different tonal ranges throughout the vocal. So it's a compression setting specific to frequency ranges. So we've got 6 separate bands, and they're going to be controlling different areas of the vocals. Each of these plugins have a preset that has already been created for you. If we go up into the Highlands Audio preset folder, you can see right here we've got a vocal preset on the C6 here. So we're going to go ahead and recall that. We're going to insert it. We're going to go to the next plugin, which is the Waves Vox, and this is simply one of the best, easiest vocal compressor plugins I've used in a really long time. It's just super intuitive and it just works. It's just kind of, for lack of better terms, a little automagical. And we also have a preset on this guy, so let's quickly recall that preset. We're going to go again into the Highlands Audio preset folder, and we're going to recall the vocal preset. We're next going to go, let's go ahead and turn that plugin on. So we're going to insert it by turning it on. Next, we're going to go to the Massey de-esser. And this is a great de-essing plugin. Once again, we've got a preset for this plugin in the Highlands Audio preset folder. So we're going to go ahead and click on that, recalls it, and we're going to go ahead and turn that plugin on. So now we've got 3 plugins. We've got our Wave C6 is the first plugin line. The second plugin in line is the Waves Vox. The third plugin in line is the Massey de-esser. Alright, now that we have those plugins in place, let's listen to what we've got here. Alright, so straight off, this vocal's actually doing pretty good. We've got the C6 compressor doing a little bit of control here. It's taking away some bite in the high mids. It's kind of scooping out a little bit of low mid here. It's controlling the low frequencies over here. And then we're going to pop over to the Waves Vox. This plugin is a combination of a gate and a compressor. So this here is your compressor threshold. This is your gate threshold. So just to quickly show you what this plugin can do, let's back off the compression, and we're going to back off the gate completely. So this particular plugin has auto makeup gain on the compressor. So as we reduce the threshold on the compressor, it's going to start compressing, but it's also going to start boosting the output gain of the vocal. And this here is a representation of the gain reduction on this particular plugin. So we want to aim for somewhere around an average of -6 dB in gain reduction. So we're just going to kind of set our compressor level so that we're roughly getting 6 dB of gain reduction when he's singing hard. And then the gate, if I slowly bring it up and he stops singing, it's just gonna close off the microphone just a little bit so that all the background noise doesn't come bursting through the microphone. So really quickly, we're going to pop back to that vocal preset folder and recall the vocal preset, which just adjusts what we had going on very slightly. We have the output gain on this plugin down at -15-ish, and it's simply because the compressor has auto makeup gain. So the more you compress, the more gain you get. And so we're just compensating for that a little bit so that we can get our fader down here set right around that 0 level. So now let's pop back over quickly to the channel strip view, and we're going to press the vocal up over the top of the mix quite a bit. This way we can just hear everything that's going on with the vocal. Alright, now quickly I'm going to just explain to you my approach when it comes to EQing a vocal. Every vocal is going to have a little bit of high, bitey, piercing nature to it, and every vocal most likely, of course these are generalizations, but most every vocal is going to have a little bit of low, mid, like woofy, kind of rumbly, nasty low end in the vocal as well. And that's just the way it is when it comes to singing on a vocal microphone and putting that vocal mic right on top of your mouth. It's just part of the nature of getting that close to a microphone capsule. So my approach is to take away the bitey, piercing frequencies in a vocal before addressing the low, rumbly frequencies in a vocal. So I'm just going to quickly walk you through my process when it comes to EQing a vocal. As you can see on the screen right here in the EQ section, it's completely flat. There's no high-pass filter and no EQ of any kind going on. Of course, in the background we do have the Waves C6, the Waves RVox compressor, and the Massey de-esser working. They're just simply recalled up on their on the vocal presets in that Highlands audio preset folder. But back to EQing, I'm just going to quickly flip over to the high-pass filter, and I'm going to turn the high-pass filter on and roll it up to somewhere around the 130 range. And that's just a good starting point for me when it comes to a vocal, a live vocal. So let's go ahead and listen to this really quick with just the high-pass filter on. Of course, remember that the vocal right now is turned up on top of the mix quite a bit, just so we can hear everything that's going on. Alright, so there's still a little bit of low rumble going on in the vocal, and so I'm going to continue to bring up the high-pass filter just to kind of clear some of that up. So it's feeling pretty good right about there, right about 170, 180. Next, I'm going to address those higher piercing frequencies in his vocal. So we're going to start with this high mid frequency, and I'm going to simply boost it. Nice tight Q, so that I really know the specific frequency that I'm hearing, and I'm just going to sweep it back and forth. See how that's kind of bitey and piercy? And I'm just going to take that out a little bit. I'm going to go to the next plug-in, or next frequency, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to boost it, sweep it around. And that's pretty rough. That's pretty piercing right there. So let's go ahead and take that away. Already the high frequencies feel tamed a lot better. Let's go ahead and boost this next one. Ooh, that's a nice kind of ringy, piercing frequency. So let's just go ahead and take that right out. Alright, so now the high frequencies in the vocal are pretty well tamed. Alright, so next, now that we've tamed the high frequencies, we're going to go ahead and tackle the lower frequencies. So let's go ahead and take that low frequency band, and we're just going to boost it, and we're going to sweep it around from left to right, from lower frequencies to slightly higher frequencies. And we're going to find, ooh, right there, that's a little like, little rumbly. And we're just going to take a little bit out of that. We're just going to take a little bit out at that frequency right there. It's just going to clean it up. It's going to clean that vocal up nicely. Alright, now that we've got the vocal pretty well EQ'd and tamed with the compressor and the C6 and the de-esser, let's pop over to that de-esser and see what it's doing. Now it might be working a little too hard, so I'm going to pull the reduction down just a little bit. You want to make sure that you use the de-esser very sparingly, because if you use it too heavily, it makes the vocalist sound like they've got a lisp. And that's definitely not our goal. Alright. So popping back to the main channel strip, let's go ahead and add some vocal effect to it. We're going to add some vocal reverb and some vocal delay. At your campus, the function key number 7 right here is set up as a tap for your delay. So we're going to go ahead and tap on that with the tempo of the song. And in the bottom of the screen here, you can see the tempo is changing as I tap on the function key number 7. Alright, so now that we've got it roughly tapped in, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of reverb right here on aux 6 is where our vocal verb is set up on this particular console. Again, we're going to turn up the vocal verb just enough so that it makes the vocal smooth out a little bit. It gives it a little bit of space, a little bit of air. But we don't want too much verb. We don't want someone to sound like they're singing inside of the Sistine Chapel or anything like that. Let me give you an example of what too much reverb sounds like. So that right there is too much. I'm going to go ahead and back it off. I'm going to back it off until it just starts sounding natural. I want it to give it a little bit of presence, a little bit of air, but I don't want it to over affect the vocal. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on the delay. We're going to do the same thing with the delay. We're going to turn it up until it's just a little bit too much. And then I'm going to turn it back down a little bit. Just settle it in. Alright. That's sounding pretty good. Let's go ahead and settle the vocal back into the mix a little bit here. Alright, now I'm going to quickly solo up the vocal and the vocal effects, so the reverb and the delay, and just give you a chance to listen to it all by itself. Alright, so that's dry. See how the vocal just got really small and it's sitting like right here? So now we're going to turn that vocal effect on. See how the vocal just got slightly softer and wider and just kind of smoother? That's what we're going for with this vocal effect. Alright, let's listen to it in context with the whole mix. Alright, now I'm just modifying the EQ slightly now that I've got it set in the mix. Because everything is better in context. You gotta EQ and compress and modify the sounds of your vocals and your instruments inside of the mix. Alright, that's sounding pretty good to me. Let's listen to that for a moment. Alright, so next, let's listen to all of the background vocals added in. And I've done exactly the steps that I've taken you on in creating this vocal, I've done with each of the background vocals. So right now, as you can see, I've got them all down all the way, and I'm just going to slowly bring them up and settle them into the mix. Alright, that's sounding pretty good. Pretty settled. Alright guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this helps get you pointed in the right direction when it comes to restructuring vocals with these new plugins, and hopefully this just gives you a little window into how I set up my vocals. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great afternoon.